Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. And today we have our special guest who is sailing as a captain from a very long time. He is an experienced captain and he is also an Instagram influencer. He used to give advice to young cadets who have joined the vessel or who is about to join the vessel. So, first of all, welcome to Captain Ravi Chaudhary, sir. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
to our podcast and making this video for the purpose educational to the cadets who is about to join the vessels.
Thank you so much for the invite. And just a clarification, I
Yes,
don't
sir.
sail anymore. I stopped
Okay.
sailing many years ago. And about 3, 4 years ago, during the COVID time, I joined Instagram. And then I saw, a lot of marine, pages. And then I joined, these groups and then started, mentoring and teaching and guiding the merchant navy kids.
Mm, okay. So actually that was my first question. Like, what motivated you to start making Instagram videos and why you choose only to uh, like guide the young cadets about what the captain is expecting from a young cadet who is joining first time. So why you choose only this? Like many people who they used to choose educating peoples about navigation, about other stuffs, but you choose to influence young cadets. So what makes you think about this?
Yeah, first of all, why I started doing this because teaching and training was my passion. Even when I was a chief mate or and then became master, I used to teach and train the cadets on ship. I used to set up small exam papers and Saturday Sunday give them off and have their test and then give them marks, etc. So that was my passion. So after I quit sailing, and the other reason was, of course, when I joined Merchant Navy way back in 1980, 79, 80, that time we did not have any guidance at all. There was absolutely no one to teach us anything about Merchant Navy. Whatever running around we did on our own. And also because those days there was no social media, there was not even, there were no phones, there were no emails. Emails came in the 90s, later on, and then slowly telephones, I think these mobile phones came in 95, 96, or 97 around that time. And then social media became active in the next century, in year 2000 later on, whatever, and actively. So my reason was to pay back to the merchant navy kids, basically. I was like, I have done 34 years of sailing and I have so much experience, like so many other masters who are doing the same thing, or even so many chief engineers who are doing this, electrical officers. A lot of people are doing the same thing. So I was like, I when I was a cadet, when I was joining merchant navy, or even after that, there was no one to advise me on anything. I had 1,000 questions. Probably I got replies to five of them. You know, so I thought, I will, guide the children accordingly. And also, if some kids who are not fit to join merchant navy, they are just joining because they have heard from here, there, everywhere. So maybe I can guide them and kind of educate them and see their aptitude. If I feel they will be a failure, they'll be wasting their time in this field, then I also guide them accordingly. But say this field may not be good for you. You can do something else. So basically, to guide the children. What was your other question?
And when did you exactly started this?
I like I told you during COVID time. Before that I joined, I think, Instagram many years ago, but I didn't know much use for this Instagram, and it was lying dormant. And during COVID time, there was nothing to do. For 2 months, 3 months, you are sitting at home on a sofa and looking here and there. And then I became active on Instagram, started posting some funny posts here and there. And then I jumped across, a couple of uh, uh, posts or some accounts of, Merchant Navy guys. Also, this Maritime Universe, he contacted me and he said he wanted to interview me. So I think that was the start of it. And then he interviewed me. I mean, one of the captains, who was known to him. So he interviewed me, posted my interview, and then I came in contact with so many other people. And then eventually I started using it as a tool to teach and train and mentor the children. Also, a lot of kids who cannot afford money, they don't know where to go and what to look for. So I was like, I am here for free, use me.
And sir, what kind of DMs you used to get nowadays from the young cadets? Like, is there any DMs like harassment, onboardship? They are feeling something and they want to share it with you, and they want like
All kinds,
your guidance on it.
all kinds of harassment is basically, unfortunately, a lot of girl kids. I have a special place in my heart for the girl children, because I run an NGO. After I quit sailing, I joined an NGO. This NGO is for women and children, for women empowerment. And then recently, last 3, 4 years, I saw, the emerging, women, girls, children who are joining as cadets, as ETOs, engine cadet, deck cadet, ETOs, or whatever ranks. And I was very happy to help them, guide them. And they kind of formed some kind of, affection, affinity with me.
Yes, sir. I think that's why I am asking you, like, from young cadets, I definitely think like you will get some this kind of request or this kind of help, what they should do in this harassment situations. And sir, one more thing is, like in nowadays in market when girls cadets start joining, so there is two kind of debate. Like one is they are not that much capable to do the work. Another is like it should be treated equally, like in other jobs. Women are equally participating in every sector, but merchant navy it was still very very less. So do you think they should join, or they are enough capable of doing hard work like in engine room? Like that side, I think it is more easy for them in comparison to engine room because of bad conditions of temperature, and sometimes you have to lift heavy things and physical work. So what's your point of view on that, sir?
There is absolutely no debate on that. It's actually a wrong kind of a question. Can women work in the adverse conditions in the engine room or deck, or heavy work, or lift this or lift that? No, when I was a cadet, as a boy, as a man, I don't think I went through any situation where I had to be a superhuman being. If there was some heavy work, I had other, guys to help me. It was a teamwork. Okay, so only thing is, about girls is, a different kind of a gender, and anatomy wise, they're different. But I don't think as work wise, there is any difference, because I have been in touch with a couple of ship owners, and I keep asking them questions who are kind of my friends or colleagues or whoever. I ask them, okay, what kind of, do you have any problems, or do you have any issues when you have women on board or girls on board? And all of them told me only one thing, that they are no less than men. They may not be better than them. Maybe some of them are better, but they are no less than men. The only issue they have is with other people who are sailing on board. They have the issues with the women on board. So that's very unfortunate, because people think, it's like, you for last 200 years or whatever, 100 years, only men are sailing on the ships, and suddenly the women start joining the same field, and there's so much of opposition and criticism and this and that. But that's the only thing. Otherwise, they are doing pretty well. And I mean, they are being ragged just like ragging is done for the boys. I was being ragged. So some girls, when they come and complain to me that there's ragging, I don't take that bullshit. I said ragging is okay, but if you have sexual discrimination, that is not okay. So, there's a difference. If someone, your senior, is ragging you, putting you to work, or do cleaning or washing, or, painting or chipping or whatever, or extra time, no sleep, do not come to me for help, because that's part of your job, right? But otherwise, this is a wrong question. Women should join or not. I 100%, the girl, I mean, they should have within them that they want to join. I'll be 100% with them. But if there are any doubts or this and that, I try to clear the doubts. If their parents, a lot of girls, they make me talk to their parents, the father. And I don't tell them, you put your daughter into sea. I only tell them ki, okay, this is what sea life is, and this is what is happening nowadays. A lot of girls are joining. They are very happy. I can connect you to, as many girls as you want, but final decision is yours as a parent. So this is what. Just a moment. Give me 2 seconds.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. So now let's come to your pastime when you joined in 1980s. So why did you join Merchant Navy? And when you decided to join Merchant Navy, which degree you did from which college? And what is the difference between today's scenario? Like now we have IMUCT. That time, do you have any IMUCT or something?
Okay. So I joined in 1979, 80, late 79. Okay. So that time I was in my 12th. Why did I join? It just happened. Somebody who was known to my family, he was at a very senior post in Hong Kong. So he asked my father, and I had little clue about Merchant Navy because there were some guys. I came from a very small town in Punjab. So there were some people, known people who were serving in the Merchant Navy, but I did not have details about it. So I knew there's something called Merchant Navy and very highly paid, profession. So that is how I joined. And what I was doing, I was in 12th pre-engineering, we used to call in our time. So pre-engineering means, after completing your pre-engineering, you get whatever good marks, you join an engineering college. So I had PCM, etc. So this person asked me what kind of marks you will get. At that time, we used to have first division, second division, third division. In those days, we never had something like 94 percenters or this and that. They used to be okay. First division means 60% plus. That's like good marks. Your child is very intelligent. So I said, probably I'll get, first division. He said, how's your eyesight? I said, very good. I don't have any glasses, nothing. He said, you want to join Merchant Navy? I said, okay. And that's how I joined Merchant Navy. So that time I joined a Hong Kong company, which was direct entry. So in India, there were many companies, like Shipping Corporation, Great Eastern, not Volumes, a lot of other, which were Indian companies. And Great Eastern had their own academy, 3C Academy. SCI, the Indian government had something called a TS Rajendra, training ship Rajendra, which later on became TS Chanakya.
Hmm.
Okay. So kids used to go for Rajendra and do 1 year or 2 year Rajendra. Sometimes Rajendra was 1 year course, and then other times they used to make it 2 years. If they want to stop too much of flow into the merchant navy, they'll make it 2 years. Okay. So when you pass out from Rajendra, 80-90% of the kids would automatically be taken over by Shipping Corporation of India. They were obliged to do that, and remaining 20% will be very easily, happily absorbed in other Indian companies. But foreign companies used to take direct entry. So I was a direct entry, no training at all. I didn't even know how a ship looks like. So I just, woke up and got up from a small town in Punjab and landed in Japan on a ship, bulk carrier 69,000 ton.
You haven't done
So
any
that's
degree or diploma before joining the vessel.
not that time. There was no, as such, there was no requirement by IMO or any kind of world shipping authority or anything. There was no such regulation. STCW and all, they came later on. And then of course you had to do these courses, which we did later on. Eventually, all the STCW courses, while I was already an officer.
And sir, why did you left Merchant Navy?
34 years, my dear. That's a long, long time. So at some stage you feel, okay, I have sailed enough. I want to leave now. I want to live a life. I wouldn't say merchant navy was, not a regular life, but I will say that, then you feel कि okay, let's do something which you really happily want to do. But don't confuse it with that merchant navy was not happy life. I had a wonderful lifetime in merchant navy. Merchant navy made me what I am today, and all thanks to this career in the merchant navy. But then eventually, it happens that you just want to do other things. So I thought, pay back to the society, join some social groups, and also like what I'm doing here on the Instagram, helping children and kind of helping them and paying back and sharing my experience and knowledge like I'm doing with you now.
Yes, sir. And sir, as you are a master, और जैसे सेकंड ऑफिसर है कोई या थर्ड ऑफिसर है या कोई इंजन डिपार्टमेंट भी है, तो उनको अगर सेलिंग नहीं करनी तो उसके अलावा उनके पास क्या करियर ऑप्शन है? और आपके हिसाब से मर्चेंट नेवी में हाईएस्ट पोजीशन कोई बंदा क्या अचीव कर सकता है? लाइक इफ यू आर ए मास्टर एंड यू जस्ट रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम द सेलिंग, बट नाउ इफ यू वांट टू अगेन like go and reach at the peak of the merchant navy, so what it can be?
Okay, sure job. The maximum on the ship you can reach is master and chief engineer. Okay, as an engineer, you can go chief engineer, as a navigator, as a master. That's the maximum you can reach. But if you want to go further up somewhere, you want to go in the management, join a company office in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Norway, or even in Delhi or Bombay or Chennai, wherever. You, depending on if you are an engineer, you will be a technical person, dealing with the technical things in the company. You will be looking after, you will be given some you will be in charge of certain ships. You go visit the ships, or you're sitting in the office, you're solving their problem what they're having on board. If you're a master, you will be doing the administration job, the manning thing, or you are handling with the the crew matters on board, or other navigation stuff or cargo stuff. So you can join that is the maximum you can go to. Or if you are too good, like there are some, those handful of people who are the now running the companies as managing directors, who were good in their job, and of course they went through the normal channels. They worked hard, and they acquired knowledge in every field. Eventually, they became partners with some people, and eventually opened shipping companies. So it depends.
And sir, do you know personally anyone who is like opened his own company, or he is in management level, which is like very further beyond a master?
Yes. I have a few friends who I sailed with, who were a couple of batchmates also, and a couple of seniors. They have their own shipping companies.
And sir, after master, if somebody is going for show jobs, so which are the jobs you think, which are the ranks you think can beat the salary when you are getting on board?
No,
Like as a
that
superintendent, can you beat the salary of a master?
no, no. That's not possible, because you have to come down slightly to you have to compromise on that level. It's like there are two reasons people want to join a shore job. One thing is people feel they don't want to sail anymore. They are staying away from the family or whatever other reasons, staying away from the relatives or staying away from social life. So let's join a shore job. And but in that shore job, you will definitely get a much lesser money, but that money is still okay. But you have to kind of negotiate with the companies. Sometimes they pay you the amount of money which you feel not worth it. I better go back to the sea. So it's a kind of a seesaw. I have many friends and many juniors I have seen who have been doing जहाज पे कर लिए थे, 10 साल लगा लिया, 15 लगा लिया, चलो शोर जॉब ले लेते हैं, शोर जॉब में आगे 1 साल में हालत खराब. Halat Krab, in the sense you are not used to that daily up and down one. If you are in Bombay, 1.5 hour of travel, go to the office, come back, you have no time for yourself. And also, you are sent to the ships. You are staying from suitcase to suitcase. Go to the ship, do the auditing, come back, file a report. You have, in fact, less time with your family than you had when you were on the ship. So then these people एक साल लगा लिया शोर में, देन दे गो बैक टू, नहीं मुझे जहाज पे वापस जाना, फिर जहाज पे चढ़ जाते हैं, जहाज पे फिर तंग आ गए। तो सी सॉ चलता रहता है। तो कई बार तुम फंस जाते हो उसमें। तो डिपेंड, कई बार मैंने आई हैव सीन अ कपल ऑफ मास्टर्स हु आर माय एज और इवन मेरी एज से भी ऊपर के, दे आर स्टिल सेलिंग एंड डूइंग वेरी वेल, दे आर वेरी हैप्पी। सो इट डिपेंड्स कि तुम्हें क्या चाहिए, कि तुम, अगर तुम्हें जहाज की लाइफ मजा दे रही है, यू एंजॉय डूइंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, देन देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग। बट आजकल की जो जनरेशन है, जो तुम्हारे एज ग्रुप के बच्चे हैं, उनको, उनके लिए बहुत ऑप्शंस है। हमारे टाइम में इतने ऑप्शंस नहीं थे, तो उनको अभी ऑप्शंस और दिखते हैं कि नहीं मैं सेकंड मेट करके किसी कंपनी ऑफिस में बैठ जाऊंगा, बट सेकंड मेट कंपनी बन के या थर्ड इंजीनियर बन के जूनियर लेवल पे तुम्हें इतने ज्यादा हाई अप नहीं जा सकते, नहीं सैलरी मिलेगी। तो मैं कहता हूँ कि कम से कम सेकंड इंजीनियर या चीफ मेट बन जाओ, उसका एक्सपीरियंस लो। Nothing better than being a chief engineer and master and then do a show job. You have more options. शोर पे ऑप्शंस यही हैं, शिपिंग कंपनी के थ्रू। और क्या, कुछ चीफ इंजीनियर हैं जो कि टेक्निकल हैं, वो हैं, उन्होंने अपने कुछ और टेक्निकल चीजें खोली हुई हैं अवे फ्रॉम द शिपिंग कंपनी, अवे फ्रॉम द शिपिंग, कोई टेक्निकलिटीज में जाके अपना कुछ कर लिया हुआ।
एंड सर, आप बहुत पहले से सेलिंग कर रहे थे 1980s में, वहां पे आपने बताया कि बहुत कम टेक्नोलॉजी थी, STCW भी नहीं था, सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स बहुत कम थे। तो ये कौन से साल में इंट्रोड्यूस होना स्टार्ट हुआ, मतलब प्रॉपर जब आपके शिप में आपने देखा कि बहुत ही चेंज आ गया है, कि अब STCW है और अभी नेविगेटिंग के लिए यू हैव डिफरेंट इक्विपमेंट्स। और फिर जो लोग थे जहाज पे, उनका कैसा रिएक्शन था, वो उससे कैसे कोप अप कर रहे थे, वो उसको हैप्पीली ले रहे थे या उनको लग रहा था कि ये सब सही नहीं है, जो पहले का सिस्टम था वो बेटर था इससे?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। अनफॉर्चुनेटली अभी मेरे को नहीं पता, मैं आउट ऑफ टच हूँ 10 साल से शिपिंग से। बट हम, मेरे टाइम में इट वाज नोन फॉर इंडियंस कि हम हिंदुस्तानी, वी डोंट टेक वेरी नाइसली टू एनी चेंज। हमारा एटीट्यूड होता है, अरे यार अभी ये क्या मुसीबत पड़ गई है, ये क्या नया रूल आ गया, ये STCW क्या होता है, अरे अभी जाके घर में कोर्सेज करेंगे, घर में भी नहीं चैन लेने देते। रादर देन टेकिंग और लर्निंग अ न्यू थिंग। जहाज में अगर आरपा आ गया, अरे यार पिछले पुराने रेडार थे ना, बड़े फर्स्ट क्लास चल रहे थे ना, ये भी क्या नया इक्विपमेंट आ गया। बट देयर वर सम गाइस who loved working on नई मशीनरी आई, नया रेडार आ गया, नया आरपा आ गया, जीपीएस आ गया, डिफरेंशियल जीपीएस आ गया, एक्डिस्क आ गया। लर्न न्यू थिंग्स, यू नो मॉडर्नाइज योरसेल्फ। दिमाग को अपने को थोड़ा एडवांस करने की जरूरत होती थी। बट यस, लाइक यू आर सेइंग, उस टाइम जो एटीट्यूड होता था, अरे यार क्या आ गया, so people did not take very nicely to the new changes of advancement or automation, और जो भी नई चीजें आ रही थी उस पे। तो STCW, व्हेन दीज चेंजेस स्टार्टेड कमिंग, आई वुड से अर्ली 90s, कि उस टाइम में मैंने देखा। आई मीन वैसे 80s में भी आ गया था, ऐसा नहीं है कि 80s में, मतलब ट्रांजिशन पीरियड आई वुड से। जैसे मैं कहता हूँ कि पहले वो पुराने सड़े हुए घसे हुए रेडार, एक सड़ा सा होता था जिसमें मुंह अंदर डाला अंधेरे में, उसका बॉक्स होता था। तो एंड देन डे एंड नाइट रेडार केम, फिर कलर रेडार आ गए, फिर जीपीएस, डिफरेंशियल जीपीएस, फिर नई नई चीजें आ गई। तो उससे लाइफ इजियर हो गई, एज इन नेविगेशन में। सेम इन द इंजन रूम आई वुड से, इंजन रूम में यूएमएस शिप्स आ गए, अनमैन्ड मशीनरी स्पेसेस जिसको कहते हैं, यूएमएस। तो वो आ गए, उससे मतलब कि सब कुछ ऑटोमेटिक हो गया। रात को वॉचेस नहीं करनी पड़ती थी इंजीनियर्स को। कैबिन्स में अलार्म आ जाते थे, तो एक ड्यूटी इंजीनियर होएगा जो उस रात के लिए he'll be on duty। अगर कोई अलार्म आता है, वो भाग के इंजन रूम में चला गया, तो ऑल दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। तो ऑटोमेशन ने काफी हेल्प करी, बट एट द सेम टाइम पेपर वर्क बहुत बढ़ गया, रेगुलेशन बहुत आ गए। तो आई वुड से एज अ बॉस, परेशानियां थोड़ी ज्यादा बढ़ गई, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गई, रूल रेगुलेशन क्योंकि ज्यादा आ गए, पेपर वर्क ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया। तो लेकिन टेक्निकली लाइफ थोड़ी इजी होगी, बिकॉज इट इज मच इजियर टू नेविगेट नाउ डेज और टू रन अ engine nowadays than what it was in those days।
या डेफिनेटली सर। एंड सर, ऑन शिप You have sailed, I think, for 34 years. Have you ever faced like any deadly emergency on board ship? Like that day you thought like this can be your last day, or it will be difficult to cross this situation.
सिचुएशन आती रहती हैं ऐसे, मतलब ऑफ हैंड, मतलब कुछ सिचुएशंस याद है कि मतलब शिप पे फायर हो गया या मेजर इंजन रूम में फायर हो गया था, एंटायर इंजन स्टाफ वाज काइंड ऑफ बर्न्ट बैडली। एक की इंजन में डेथ हो गई थी, मोटरमैन की। एक बत्ती साहब थे जिनकी इंडिया आके डेथ हो गई थी हॉस्पिटल में। और 7-8 इंजीनियर्स और मोटरमैन और दूसरे फिटर को बर्न इंजरीज हो गई थी। तो दोज काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशंस वर देयर। छोटे मोटे एपिसोड्स तो होते रहते थे, बट कि नथिंग कि मतलब कि जिसको तुम्हें लगे तुम हैंडल नहीं कर सकते। यस, so emergencies keep happening. You have to keep kind of handling them with your expertise and other people's help on board. You have such senior people on board, तो सबके साथ बैठ के it's a team work basically, तो तुम हैंडल कर लेते हो।
And sir, what are the perks that you enjoy being a captain? Like, let's give example. जो भी यहाँ पे कोई कॉर्पोरेट में जॉब कर रहा है, अगर वो बहुत अच्छी जॉब पे भी है, उसकी सैलरी बहुत अच्छी है, बट इंस्टेड एज अ कैप्टन, what are the perks you think you are getting differently from other peoples who are in different professions with of same kind of rank? And what are the disadvantages of a captain being a captain which you never liked? Like this is the biggest disadvantage. Like you don't even want to be captain. You want to stay as chief officer, because many people I have seen they want to stay as second engineer or chief officer. They don't want to get promoted. So what are those things which people don't want in their captains, like on their ranks?
With all due respect to these people, I think they lack the confidence. I would never say, अगर मैंने मर्चेंट नेवी ज्वाइन किया मुझे टॉप पे जाना ही है, कैप्टन बनना ही है, अनलेस देर आर सम सर्कमस्टांसेस, कोई ऐसे घर में कोई सर्कमस्टांसेस अनफॉर्चुनेट हो गए या कुछ हो गया कि तुम नहीं एग्जाम नहीं दे सके या तुम पढ़ाई नहीं कर सके, तुम क्लियर नहीं कर सके, तो तुम चीफ मेट रह गए हो। बट मैंने अपनी लाइफ में ऐसा कोई देखा ही नहीं। ठीक है, कईयों का ये हो सकता कि अभी उसको कॉन्फिडेंस अपने में नहीं है, लेकिन अगर मेरे साथ कोई चीफ मेट ऐसा था जिसके पास मास्टर्स टिकट थी, आई मेड श्योर कि मैं उसको इतना ज्यादा ट्रेन करूं कि वो कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाए, उसको पूरा उसको एंकरिंग के लिए भेजूं, उसको मास्टर्स के जॉब के बारे में सिखाऊं, विच वी यूज्ड टू डू, एंड ताकि उसको अगर चलो अगले जहाज पे नहीं, उससे नेक्स्ट जहाज पे उसको कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाए कि मैंने मास्टर बनना ही है। मेरे को ऐसा, आई डोंट नो, अगर आप कह रहे हो तो हो सकता है आपको कोई ऐसे मिले होंगे, बट मेरी लाइफ में कोई ऐसा नहीं मिला। और as far as the perks are concerned, I would say the best thing when you are a master is, you know you have that confidence and the thing of running a ship successfully, ki completing a contract successfully, making the owners, the managers and the charters happy। उनको क्या चाहिए, जहाज ठीक ठाक चले, पैसे कमाए, कार्गो ठीक होए, कार्गो कोई डैमेज ना होए, जहाज का इंजन ठीक ठाक चलता रहे। तो चीफ इंजीनियर के लिए वो सबसे बड़ी चीज होगी कि कोई मेजर इशू इंजन रूम में नहीं हुआ। और मास्टर के लिए है कि मतलब जहाज पॉइंट ए टू पॉइंट बी सक्सेसफुली चला गया, कार्गो लोड कर लिया, कार्गो डिस्चार्ज कर लिया, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा सेटिस्फेक्शन और तुम्हें वो किक मिलती है। तो बेस्ट पर्क्स तो यही हैं। अब मैं कभी भी नहीं ये बोलूंगा कि मुझे कभी भी ये फीलिंग हुई कि मैंने मास्टर नहीं बनना था, मेरी सदा ही ये फीलिंग थी। और मैं काफी अपना ट्राई भी किया कि मुझे मास्टर बनाए कंपनी, बट कंपनीज के सब अपने अपने वो होते हैं। और मैं एक और चीज कहता हूँ कि मास्टर तुम्हें जल्दी नहीं बनना, मास्टर तुम्हें एक्सपीरियंस के साथ बनना है। कई बहुत से बच्चे पूछते हैं मुझे बहुत जल्दी प्रमोशन चाहिए, मुझे बनना, तो मैं कहता हूँ कि नहीं, एज अ चीफ मेट एक्सपीरियंस गेन करो, मास्टर की जॉब देखो, पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस से रखो, और जिस दिन बनना होगा तुम्हें बन जाओगे, बट उससे पहले केपेबल हो बनने के लिए। तो मास्टर तो बनना ही था, और कोई रिग्रेट नहीं है। लेकिन आजकल आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ मास्टर्स की जो जॉब्स के अथॉरिटी को कंपनीज ने टेक ओवर कर लिया, विच इज अनफॉर्चुनेट कि मास्टर जहाज पे ऐसे अभी चढ़ जाते हैं, आधी चीजें ऑफिस में डिसाइड करी जाती हैं, ये करना, ये रिपोर्ट करो, ये चेकलिस्ट भरो, हमें ये बताओ, ये एक्शन लेने से पहले ये करो। पहले जो फ्री हैंड होता था, यू एज अ बॉस, एज अ मास्टर, यू हैड योर ओन इंटेलिजेंस कि मैं अपने हिसाब से चला रहा हूँ। एज अ मास्टर मेरे को लगता है ये चीज, ये मेरा एक्शन सही है एंड मैं लूंगा वो, और तुम लेते थे, करते थे।
Yes, sir. Even I think in today's scenario, even if the chief engineer also have to do some big maintenance, they have to first text to the company, then they will mail back, and then they will schedule like which day you should do. Neither the chief engineer is deciding like when he wants to plan, and he according to the crew, when the crew will be fully rested, then he will is planning accordingly. So those things has definitely changed. And sir, so another question is, sir,
हम्म।
when I was in my college, I have done BTech Marine Engineering. So in our college, we also have BSc also. So with the
हम्म।
friends of our who were doing BSc, we used to like मजाक करना उनके साथ कि engine is better because of some points, and they also have to they used to tell some points because of they think BSc is better than marine engineering. So according to
हम्म।
you, what are the good points of deck and what are the good points of engine?
Uh, I will just talk for myself. Like a lot of kids ask me the same question, sir, is the engineering better or the deck better? So my answer is whatever you are good at. Okay. If you are technically minded person, you must go to engine room, must become an engineer. But if you like navigation and you want to be a captain of the ship, if that is what comes to your mind as your dream, I want to run a ship like as a captain, then you go in the navigation side. But at the same time, I also tell them, if you ask me, I will always say join the deck side. Similarly, if you ask a chief engineer, he'll say definitely you join the engine room because he's the boss there. He's the machinery man. He's the technical man. So I don't think there should be any argument on that. This is a personal, whatever you are good at. But yes, one thing I will say as a master, I feel that, I am the boss of the ship. I am dealing with the port authorities. I'm dealing with the company, the charters, the managers, the owners, the in charge of the cargo, point
You
A
have
to
like
point B, the
more
pilot.
exposure to the world.
Yeah, more kind of, in the engine room, you are concerned about the deck engine machinery and of course, some equipment on the bridge. And you are basically, looking after the entire engine and technical thing. Of course, we'll give technical advice to the master also, which master has very little clue about. So it's a
Yes,
personal
sir, but
choice.
actually here we are talking about guys who are just passed from the 12th class, 12th standard basically. So they now have to join either deck side like BTech or diploma in BSc or this 1 year diploma. So actually they even himself don't know about like they more towards technical or they want to be captain because they just want to know some fact or some points. On the basis of that they can judge whether they should join engine or whether they should join deck. First, I think most people are looking for which one they have to do less work. Second, which one maybe have higher pay. Actually there is basically I think almost same pay, but there are many other differences between deck and engine, maybe working conditions. So what do you think they should join?
First of all, if a kid is asking me what is easier to work on, I will say you're not fit for much in Navy. Don't look for a job which is easier. It really annoys me. If someone says कि मेरे को easily कौन सी deck easy है कि engine easy है. Nothing in life is easy. Doesn't matter whether you are on the ship or you are ashore. You have to work hard. You have to be responsible. You have to give your time, money, energy, everything. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I will give the person a rundown on the life on deck and life in the engine room. Still, the decision I will I would leave on the person. ठीक है, बच्चा है, 12th में है, उसको कुछ नॉलेज नहीं है, पर मैं बता दूंगा कि मैं एज अ मास्टर ये करता था, और मुझसे पूछोगे तो तुम डेस्क ज्वाइन करो। लेकिन कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जो टेक्निकल होते हैं, वो बोलते हैं, सर आई रिसेंटली आई वेंट टू अ मरीन एकेडमी, नो, एंड आई स्पोक टू सम किड्स। एक बच्चा मेरे पास आया, वो कहता, सर मैं जब मशीनरी देखता हूँ ना, तो मेरे हाथ मचलने लग जाते हैं। ही वाज लाइक सो पैशनेट अबाउट मशीनरी। मैंने उसको बोला, तू इंजन में ही जाएगा, तू और कोई चीज टच भी मत करना। यू हैव सो मच पैशन फॉर द मशीनरी। कहता, मैं इंजन या मशीनरी देखता हूँ तो कहता मैं इतनी एक्साइटमेंट मेरी हो जाती। सो सम पीपल नो इट, यू नो तो वो है। अदरवाइज मैं लाइफ बता देता हूँ कि ये इंजन रूम है, ये सर्कमस्टांसेस इन द इंजन रूम, हॉट, lot of heat there, lot of noise there, engine noise, 24 hours तुम्हारे ईयर मफ्स कान में लगे रहेंगे, दुनिया की मशीनरी चल रही है, दुनिया के अलार्म्स है, ये वो है। डेक में क्या है, यू हैव अ डिफरेंट लाइफ, आई वुडंट से इजी लाइफ, बट टोटली डिफरेंट लाइफ। यू आर मोर एक्सपोज टू द the nature. You are outside, you are doing the navigation, or you are working on the deck, or you are doing some maintenance of something, you are looking after LSA FFA as a junior officer. As a second officer, you are looking after the navigational equipment and machineries, and you are planning the passages. And as a chief mate, you are doing the cargo work, planning the cargo, how much to load, where to load. As a master, you are doing the ship handling and navigation and cargo and whole other lot of other stuff. So decision eventually will be candidates. तुम उनको बता दो कि ये engine है, ये deck।
Answer your favorite question. What advice you want to give to a newly joined cadet, or what are the expectations from a newly joined cadet? Like how should he is technically good, and what should be his attitude when first time he is joining a vessel?
या उसमें मैंने कैडेट्स के लिए 2 वीडियो बनाए। अनफॉर्चुनेटली नॉट फॉर द engine cadet, but engine cadet ho ya deck cadet ho, it's the same. So for engineers, I would say, all the kids must follow their amazing chief engineers who are, posting their work videos, and there are a lot of amazing ETOs, women ETOs, who are posting amazing videos. Watch those videos, learn from them. My expectations from a newly joining deck cadet, be obedient, willing to work, ask 1,000 questions. Safety consciousness has to be in the mind. Chief officer is your boss. Captain is always there around. So, wherever, whatever work is given to you, with you have to do that. You can never say no to any kind of work. That's number one. Number two, always be safety conscious. You know, do not go anywhere on the ship alone unless you know where you are going. And initially, basically, you will be guided. There will be someone who will be always accompanying you. जो भी तुम्हें काम दिया जाएगा, तुम वो काम अ, अ, कोई तुम्हें असाइन होगा, कोई तुम्हारे साथ सीनियर होगा, जो तुम्हारे साथ जाएगा। और कहीं भी कोई डाउट हो, आस्क, ऑलवेज आस्क। यू हैव द राइट टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस। अगर तुम्हें लगे कि तुम कहीं पे, तुम्हें अपनी सेफ्टी की कोई कोई डाउट है या कुछ है, ऑलवेज एक्सप्रेस योर व्यूज और वो करो। और बेसिकली तुम्हें जो भी काम दिया जाता है, ओबीडियंट होना। एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली, नेवर एवर बी डिसऑनेस्ट। बुलशिट नहीं कभी मारनी। बहुत बच्चे समझते हैं हमने दुनिया देखी, अब सारी दुनिया को हमने बेवकूफ बनाया, अभी जहाज पे चढ़ के बनाएंगे। प्लीज डोंट डू दैट, बिकॉज जहाज पे सब जो बैठे हैं, बाप बैठे हैं, उन्होंने अपने टाइम में भी, कैडेट टाइम में सब कुछ किया हुआ, उनको सब पता है। तो क्योंकि एक बार तुम्हारी क्रेडिबिलिटी खत्म हो गई ना, अगर तुम्हारे बॉसेस को थोड़ा सा भी आइडिया हो गया कि तुम ट्रस्ट वर्दी नहीं हो, कि तुम्हें कोई काम दिया तो तुम कोई गड़बड़ करोगे या तुम सही रिप्लाई नहीं दोगे, तो एक बार तुम्हारी रेपुटेशन वो होगी तो तुम्हारा खत्म। तुम्हारा मतलब, यू विल बी लाइक वेस्ट पेपर, यू विल बी थ्रोन इनटू द गार्बेज बिन। और आई वुड से, end of kind of, not really end of sea career, but learning will stop. No one will teach you, no one will trust you. और हो सकता है कि इवेंचुअली एक स्टेज पे तुम्हें जहाज से घर भेज दिया जाए. So honesty and hard work and no bullshitting, and ask 1,000 questions. Keep a diary and a pencil in your pocket. Okay. डेली वर्क जो होता है तुम्हें परसों भूल जाएगा आज तुमने क्या किया था. ठीक है. लॉट ऑफ, बिकॉज you have joined a new life. It's not like land life, everything is new, terminology is new, the work is new. So end of the day कैबिन में आके जो भी दिमाग में तुम्हें याद आता है लिखो, वो नोट्स बनाओ और फिर वो पढ़ो. और वो नोट्स तुम्हें सारी जिंदगी कहीं ना कहीं काम आने वाले हैं, एग्जाम में भी और अगले जहाजों पे भी. दैट्स इट.
And sir, what advice you will give to a master? Because you are a master. So have you, when you were like cadet or third officer, second officer, so have you ever faced any master who you think like when I will become master, I will not repeat this with my cadet?
कैडेट तो नहीं, मतलब एज अ मास्टर मैं मास्टर्स को एडवाइस बिल्कुल नहीं दूं. विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू देयर रैंक, I will not give any advice to a master, but मेरे दिमाग में क्या आता है, जो मैंने अपने मास्टर्स की चीजें देखी, कुछ चीजें जो मैंने सोचा कि मैं ये कभी नहीं करूंगा. एक तो चीज था द एटमोसफियर ऑन द शिप, द बिहेवियर विद डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स. ड्यूरिंग मेरे टाइम में जब मैं यंग था या कैडेट था, उस टाइम में दे यूज्ड टू बी सो मच ऑफ फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन द डेक एंड इंजन. तो वो मैंने बचपन में ही सोच लिया था. बचपन एज इन मेरे सी लाइफ का बचपन, इसकी सोच लिया था कि मैं जब कैप्टन बनूंगा, आई विल बी द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू हैव अमेजिंग एटमोसफियर ऑन बोर्ड, जहाँ पे विल ऑल वर्क एज वन टीम. ये नहीं है कि डेक का काम है, ये इंजन का काम है, ये जहाज का काम है. हम एक ओनर के लिए, एक चार्टर के लिए काम कर रहे हैं जो हमें पैसे दे रहा है. ठीक है. मेरा पर्सनल काम नहीं है. तो मैं अपना ईगो जीरो करके, I used to be the first person to make friendship with, and I can proudly say I never had issues with anyone. As a youngster, I had issues क्योंकि तुम जब यंग होते हो ना, तो तुम्हारा खून गर्म होता है, तुम्हें अकल थोड़ी कम होती है, तुम अपने आप को बहुत समझते हो. मैं भी अपने आप को एज अ जूनियर ऑफिसर बहुत समझता था. थोड़े पंगे होते थे. जैसे जैसे तुम हायर अप जाते हो तो तुम्हें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, जॉब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आती है, तो तुम्हें ये भी अकल आ जाती है कि कैसे दूसरों के साथ मिलके एज अ टीम काम करना है. सो आई डिड दैट, and I had a wonderful time. And as a master, I made sure that ship's morale is very high. उस जमाने में, कभी आजकल तो कंपनियां, शिपिंग कंपनीज करती हैं,
No.
सबको एनकरेज करती हैं. पे पार्टी होनी चाहिए, रिक्रिएशन होनी चाहिए, गेम्स होनी चाहिए, ये खाना अच्छा होना चाहिए. हमारे टाइम में ये कुछ नहीं था. अगर कंपनी को कोई जिम्नेजियम के लिए कोई चीज लेते थे, वो कंपनी बोलती थी कि जहाज पे काम नहीं है क्या. तो अभी एटीट्यूड चेंज हो गया. कंपनीज को भी समझ आ गया कि पर्सनल जो मेंटल हेल्थ है लोग जहाज में लोगों की, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो मैं अपने टाइम में ये मैं खुद ही करता था. आई यूज टू गो टू द शिप स्टाफ. अगर मेरे को लगता था कि कोई आज, कोई क्रू मेंबर या ऑयलर या मोटरमैन या कोई एबी आज चेयरफुल नहीं लग रहा, कोई गड़बड़ लग रही, मैं उसके कैबिन में घुस जाता था. क्या अभी बच्चे सब ठीक है, घर में कोई परेशानी तो नहीं, मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ. तो खाना खाना मीटिंग्स होती थी, मैं सबसे पूछता था किसी को कोई ऑब्जेक्शन खाने पे या जो भी है, कि मेरी तरफ से कोई गलती है या चीफ चीफ कुक की तरफ से कोई गलती है या कुछ है, बताओ. सो दैट वी कैन, बिकॉज मैंने एक चीज सीख ली थी कि वेल फेड शिप इज अ हैप्पी शिप. खाना जहाज में अच्छा दो तो जहाज के लोग खुश रहते हैं. आजकल तो वैसे ही मैंने देखा काफी अच्छा खाना होता है, ये इशू नहीं होता, बट फिर भी कोई इश्यूज होते हैं. सो पर्सनल टच एज अ मास्टर, गो टू ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल, उनसे बात करो, तो उनका वैसे ही मोरल बूस्ट हो जाता है. और वर्किंग कंडीशन सदा सबकी थोड़ी कंफर्टेबल होनी चाहिए. यू कांट पुश पीपल इनटू सम वर्क कंडीशंस की, जहाँ पे कंडीशन इन ह्यूमन कंडीशंस है और तुम चाहते हो कि 100% आउटपुट हो और इनपुट हो. नहीं होता कई बार. तो थोड़ी ये चीजें देखनी पड़ती है. जहाज में इमरजेंसी बहुत आती है, कई बार तुम्हें सब कुछ इग्नोर करके काम करना पड़ता है, वो करना पड़ता है, करोगे. Like in master key duty is not only to run a ship, his duty is also to make sure a well-being of the people on board.
And now, sir, we are about at the end of this podcast. So I have seen lot of your reels and also recent two podcasts in last year what you have given with Chief Engineer Praneeth Mehta sir and one more channel I have seen. So you always used to be serious and kind of thing, but in last time of this video, I want to ask you some funny experience you had on board, like some funny story I want to ask you, either one or two, any you want to share, like very funny experience in your entire journey that you want to share.
Oh, I mean, I wish I had, some things in mind, but there are hazard incidents, which happen, some funny and some non-funny. Uh, Offhand, I am sorry, I cannot, think of any, except for one time, when we were sailing somewhere, we were sailing from Australia, we were going to South Africa, and then we had to go to Europe from, south of Cape Town. And on the way, we received a message from, MRCC that, there's some ship in distress and we have to go and kind of rescue them. So we were giving their coordinates where to go, so we were proceeding there. And we noticed a boat and a big ship. Probably they were the, a big ship was a mother vessel, a ship fishing vessel, and there was a small boat which was ship fishing. It was a Chinese kind of a ship. And when we went close to them and we are trying to talk to them, and within no time we realized, they turned around and they just sped at a full speed and ran away from there. And we were all laughing, ki, what the hell, I'm here to rescue them. These guys running away. So probably, it was kind of a false alarm, by them or whatever. So we were all laughing. We came to rescue these guys, and they just turned around their boat and they sped and disappeared from the scene. So we reported to the MRCC, this is the scene, and they said, okay, okay, anyway, you proceed to your normal course. So these, and I mean, some funny things keep happening on board, people pulling each other's legs or this and that. I cannot really, remember anything. I wish you had asked me before. You had asked me, these are the questions, I would have remembered something. Sorry.
Yeah, no issue, sir. So before wrapping up, I want to ask you one last question. If a cadet who is on board and if he is facing any problem, either he is from engine department or deck department, if his second engineer, chief officer, or any other rank person, if he is harassing him, either his rest hours are not complete, but on paper they are writing okay your rest hours is okay, but actually they are in the red zone, and he wants to complain. So if he is an engine cadet, he wants to complain to the chief engineer, and he thought like second engineer is very in touch with the chief engineer, so he can't go and reach to the chief engineer. So what he should do, either he should directly go to the master, or I think nowadays companies are like directly tell us and we will take the action. You don't even need to go through your seniors also. Some companies are doing like this also. So what will be your advice to the cadet, what they should do?
I would say, never let a situation go so much out of hand that you have to go and go outside the ship and report to the DPA or whoever. A situation should never come to that. That's immaturity. Lot of, in fact, a lot of girls who have some issues, on because of their gender, they ask me, certain advice, and I tell them, go through the proper channel, go to the immediate boss, go to the master. If they are not taking any action, then probably they can go to the DPA, because if they think something is very serious. But if it is general harassment or something, that I would say it depends what kind of harassment. It's basically work related. That's not harassment. The guy wants you to be good. If the a cadet is not giving his 100%, he's not fully there and not responsible enough, obviously the boss is going to give him a hard time. When it comes to the
But sir,
workers and rest hours, then
Uh,
of course they have to kind of look after that and keep that thing, paperwork is very important, and probably talk to the kid. And if that child comes to me and talks to me, I will make sure the thing is sorted out in my own way. It should never go back to the company, and if I feel that work hours and rest hours, there's something wrong happening, I'll try to tell the second engineer, or maybe tell Bada Saab. He'll tell the second engineer. But I will refuse to take hard work or work pressure as harassment. A lot of kids want to use that. I don't like it, and well, it's up to them whatever they want to do.
And sir, there is one blame that people of my age who have done one ship or two ship or three ship, they have this kind of experience like their master or chief engineer, which are very aged. So in their time, they used to work a lot. Like they don't have this kind of rest hours or work hours. So they also want their cadets to work the same way that they have done, but according to company they have now rules and regulations, but now as captains or maybe chief engineers don't want to follow them, or they got irritated with those kind of cadets who used to complain about these things. So do you think they should complain, or they should little bit go with the flow?
That's a very tricky situation, because if there are people on board like that who think ki these things don't matter, I will not agree with those seniors also. If there's a rule, there's a rule. If they are rest as workers, they are rest as workers. You can't flog them. You have to follow that. एंड यू कांट से कि मेरे जमाने में मैं कह सकता हूँ मेरे जमाने में तो ये रेडार थे, तुम्हें क्या नए रेडार चाहिए? नो, यू हैव टू ग्रेजुएट, यू हैव टू मूव टू द upgrade yourself, you have to move to the higher up, you know to the latest, to the automation, similarly the work standards. But one thing, my advice to the juniors is, new ship, new people, new ways of dealing with different people. This is also people management, your own intelligence. I always tell people, kids, कि तुम्हें people management भी आनी चाहिए. तुम्हारा ये बॉस तुम्हारी लाइफ बर्बाद कर रहा है, मैं तो यहाँ से, मैं नहीं जहाज से जाने वाला हूँ. मैं उससे जाके बात करो, टॉक टू द पर्सन. समटाइम्स क्या होता है, छोटा सा ऐसे ईगो होता है कि मैं तेरा बॉस हूं, मैं तो ये करूंगा, तुम चले जाओ सर. आई हैव नोटिस दैट यू आर नॉट वेरी हैप्पी विद मी. आई कैन नॉट फाइंड आउट बिकॉज मे बी आई एम टू इमेच्योर. टेल मी वेयर आई एम लैकिंग. आई वांट टू improve that. I want to become a good officer and give you a good report. Go to your second engineer chief, or whoever, or deck side, to talk to them. Sometimes people are like, अरे ये लड़का तो मतलब अच्छा मेरे पास आके इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए पूछ रहा. आई विल गाइड हिम नाइसली, बट हार्ड वर्क तो करना ही पड़ेगा. तो कई बार ये होता है कि वन सेट ऑफ पीपल यू गेट हार्डकोर, ओल्ड फैशन, इस हिसाब से काम करना. नेक्स्ट सेट कम्स डिफरेंट, इजी गोइंग, चलो सब चलता. बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू काइंड ऑफ डील विद पीपल. बट रूल्स हैव टू बी फॉलोड. जो कंपनी के मैनुअल में अगर वर्क का रेस्टार्ट लिखा है तो वो तो फॉलो करना ही पड़ेगा. सो आई कांट, मैं यहाँ ये नहीं एडवाइस दे सकता कि जाके तुम डीपीओ को रिपोर्ट करो या जो भी करो. वो अपनी पर्सनल इंटेलिजेंस है बच्चे की, कि कैसे उसको हैंडल करना है सिचुएशन को. मेरा एक ही एडवाइस है, टॉक टू द सीनियर डायरेक्टली कि सर, आई फील दिस वे, आई वांट टू इम्प्रूव माई सेल्फ, मेरे को अच्छा ऑफिसर बनना है, प्लीज गाइड.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for all the information that you have given to us. And here we want to end this video. I think many people will get guided from your guidance, which you have given in this video from via different questions. And in future, we will definitely make another videos for the cadets. If they will comment any other their doubts, or they will DM you directly, you will definitely help them. You already helped a lot of cadets, so we hope best. And for those who are out there, and for the sir also, for a good health and for a good life. Thank you so much, sir, for coming to this podcast.
Thank you so much. And just for the children, one thing that I always reply to all the DMs. आज तक कोई बच्चा ये नहीं कह सकता कि मैंने कैप्टन रवि चौधरी को मैसेज भेजा, उसने रिप्लाई नहीं दिया. तो मैं आज तक, अगर मेरे को 10,000 बच्चों ने क्वेश्चन भेजे, मैंने 10,000 रिप्लाई दिए. सो एनीवन, एनी टाइम, is welcome to ask me questions. I, with my wisdom, my experience, whatever I can give advice, I always give. Thank you so much for this podcast. See you again.
I think that's why a lot of people are following you today, because you are genuine to them and you are not like a you want to become famous on the internet and like that. You genuinely want to help us. That's why people are connecting with you and thinking a lot better about you. So we will meet in another video, sir, definitely. And
Def,
thank you so
def.
much.
Thank you. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.